ఇండియా మన దేశంలో 33 కోట్ల దేవతలు ఉన్నారు. 33 crore gods in our religion that we follow. So why is there a need for so many gods, and how do we worship? And do you believe in the fact that if you when you worship, that you just worship one god, or like each god has a specific way to be worshipped?
We are Indians, we like variety. We are not people who will stay in a uniform, we are
Not one
like that, all right? See, first of all, change that question in terms of why does our religion has 33 crore gods? 33 crore, is it?
Yeah, but why does our religion have 33 crore gods?
No, our religion doesn't have 33 crore gods. In fact, we don't have a religion. We are a land of seekers. We have variety of spiritual processes. Everybody can seek in their own way, because the fundamental… in the world, the fundamental of a religion means there must be a God, and you must believe this is the nature of the God, and you must believe this is the way to get to the God. These are fundamentals. We don't have the God. The people whom you worship are all people who walked this geography at one time or the other. Your Shiva, your Rama, your Krishna, they walked this land at one time. They lived, they had families, they had children, they fought battles, all right? And they are more drama than your life. Yes or no? Much more drama than your life, much more turmoil than your life. But because of the way they lived, the way they conducted their life, one thing is their full-fledged life, and no matter what kind of drama happened to them, they conducted themselves in an equanimous way, being above the drama. Because they were above the drama, we call them a director, I'm sorry. We call them we call them a divine being. All the others were in the drama, caught in the drama. But even though they're active participants in the drama, they stayed above the drama. In a way, people are claiming God is the director of life, isn't it? Hello?
And we're all the actors.
We don't know about that. I leave that to you. But essentially, when we said 33 crore gods, we said that only when our population was 33 crore. Today, we have 125 crore gods. Actually, we should have, but we become little shy because of outside people making you feel like a fool. Oh, we have only one god, you all have zoo full of gods. We're feeling shy. But no, this is a fantastic thing. One thing is, we said 33 crore gods because we recognized every human being as a divine entity. This is why you go to the temple, what do? You do hi? What do you do?
We pray, yeah.
You know what you do this. If you see a man in the street, what do? Do this. If you see a woman, what do? You do this. Even a cow, an animal, if you see a tree, a rock, if you see, what do? You do this. Because we recognized there is nothing here happening without the source of creation in some way functioning within that. So, we are trying to recognize that. When the population was 33 crores, we said we have 33 crore gods and goddesses. Today it must be 125 crores. Not just 125 crores, it must be 7.6 billion gods and goddesses. And why are we leaving out the other creatures? Any number, trillions of gods and goddesses. Because you recognize the source of creation is definitely throbbing in every leaf, in every fruit, in every root, in every insect, worm, animal, everything, including the human being. So this is what the culture is about. Today, somebody misinterprets the whole thing, saying, oh, you have 33 gods, actually there's only one God. How the hell do you know there's only one God? You just believe it, right? But here, we were given the choice to make our own gods. Do you understand? There's something called as Ishta Devata, that you can choose the god you want. Isn't it fantastic?
Yeah.
God is not an imposition on you. You can make this tree your god and every day worship this god. In your garden, if you go and worship your tree, in India, neighbors will not think you're crazy. If you do it in any other country, they'll call the police. Do you know this? I'm not joking. they'll call the police, they will attack you. In some countries they will attack you, in some countries they'll call the police. But you go into your garden, there's one rock standing there, one little stone, you go and worship, oh, people will say, oh, he's a devotee. So, is it not important? The important thing is to see the footprint of the divine in every piece of life around you. Right now, because God has been exported to heaven, you can do all the trash here and misinform him about your actions and then you will go to heaven anyway. Here we are not interested in going to heaven. We know even if we go and sit on God's lap, after a few days we'll be bored with him. We are smart enough to know that. Hello? Is it not true?
Access.
People whom you thought are the most fantastic human beings, when you be with them for 3 days, you go, you're bored, you want to go to a cinema, leaving that person there. So even with God, the same thing will happen, even with heaven, the same thing will happen, we know this. Because of this, our highest value became freedom or liberation. The only goal in this culture is mukti, moksha, nirvana. This means you want to become free, because freedom is the ultimate process of life. God is not the ultimate process here. We can create any number of gods, we have no issues. If you need some kind of a support, above all, these gods were created in a certain way. Some of them may be just an emotional expression of people, but a whole lot of them have a scientific basis to it. To access different dimensions of life, we created different kinds of deities. See, a murti, I don't know in Andhra Pradesh if you are still using this word, in Tamil Nadu still, many people call the murti as a yantra. Is it still there in Andhra?
Not that I heard of, no.
If you see in temples, there will be geometrical drawings to make the deity into yantra. Yantra means what? A machine. Why do you create a machine? Because right now, why are we using a microphone?
To do something.
Because to enhance the faculty that we already have. We're able to speak. Suppose we had no speech, would we invent a microphone? Suppose you were made like a tree rooted to one place, would you invent a bicycle?
No.
Every machine that we have created is only enhancement of our existing faculties, isn't it? So the deities were also yantras, that means they were machines which will enhance your capability. Well, my life is a living demonstration of that. But if anything in India is a suspect today, for Indians at least. Everybody else looks at us in such great awe. But in India, anything Indian is this thing because there's a whole segment of media who is committed to beating this nation down. Yes, they're committed for beating this nation down for whatever reasons, I don't want to go into the reasons, but they're doing it continuously. But if it happens elsewhere, for example, you heard of Ramanujam, the mathematician. If he had not gone to London, we would have told him, we would have declared here he's a useless guy, all right? He just poured out mathematics. No training, no schooling, nothing. Simply mathematics just poured out. What mathematics means is, it's another expression of creation. Creation reduced to numbers so that we can understand in a certain way, that's what mathematics is, in a way. And this entire mathematical process, Albert Einstein said this entire mathematical process, which is the basis and the backbone of modern science, would be nothing without contribution from India. One important fragment of this is zero. Nobody could have thought about a zero except this nation, because only here we are looking at nirvana, moksha, which means becoming nothing. Nothingness is our ideal. So zero is always a big factor in our life. The ultimate nature of existence is nothingness. Today modern science is saying over 99% of creation is nothing, all right? That's a dimension. But nobody would have observed it outside. Only because we turned inside, here we said, this is it. Not only that, he poured out mathematics simply. When he was sick and dying, the last few months or whatever, He was simply pouring books and books of mathematics, simply writing. Some of the mathematics, some of the formulas and equations that he did actually describes black holes. See, there was no concept of black hole in 1910 or 1908 when he was writing this. Without a concept and a theory, you can't make math in science. But he first made math. Many years later, almost 40 years later, they came up with the idea of a black hole, a concept of a black hole. But he already made the math. When people asked him, where is this coming from? He said, my Devi bleeds mathematics. For him, his Devi is the window to something possible. So similarly, deities were created as a possibility to enhance your faculties in a certain way. So for everybody, we created a deity. You are a businessman, you want to become rich, one kind of deity. You are a creative person, you want to be creative, another kind of deity. You are a spiritual person, another kind of deity. You are a thief, for him also we have a deity, you know. Thieves have their own goddesses and gods who support their thievery. Yes, it is so. If you see traditional, there have been tribes who are culturally thieves, they're very proud of their profession. You know, you've heard of the Pindaris and the others.
Yeah.
All these people had their own deities. Without worshipping their deity, they never went on their thievery business because they saw it as a trade. And to support that kind of activity, they had their own deities. Because these are energy forms which were created to facilitate a specific type of activity. So you want to be intellectually brilliant, one kind of deity. You want to be emotionally rich, another kind of deity. For everything we created a deity. These are yantras, these are machines. So if there is a machine, you must know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, you think it's junk. That's all that's happened today.